Yes, hello everyone. A very good evening to everyone. I believe my voice is very much clear for you all. So, if you can just confirm my voice is clear or not. We would be starting with the database management system that is called as DBMS, and we will understand what are the basic concepts of SQL, what is DBMS, what is database, and similar kind of terminologies, right? So just uh, throughout the session, listen carefully and make the points that you think that yes, these are very important points to jot down. So we would be starting, and before starting, I would tell you like in what all positions you can basically opt once you are clear with these concepts of databases, or we can say DBMS, SQL, and so. So one of the main, you know, position that you can crack after completing or after going through this course would be database administrator, right? So if we consider any domain, any business domain, any organizational structure wherein the data is being stored somewhere, so we get to see that a proper set of instructions is there where that has been followed to store the data at a place wherein all the organizational data is being stored systematically in an organized manner so that it is very easy to retrieve anytime any amount of data that you need. Maybe it could be for analysis part, it could be for applying some machine learning model, predicting something, uh, taking out the stats, giving the report, and many more things. So I believe you are able to understand. So database administrator could be a position that you can focus on. So a database administrator would be simply a person who is looking after the whole database wherein the data is being stored. So I just told you this could be one position, and database developer could also be a position, or maybe we can say a position that is talking about the structure, the designing of the database. So database designer could be a position, right? So I believe we can start further. All right. So welcome back to this SQL fundamentals and introduction to database management system uh, course, wherein we would be talking about the basics. So as I already told about some of the some of the positions that you can focus on. After understanding this, I would also tell like you can explore from your side as well, like what all these positions are about, what are the job roles, what are the activities, and what are the skill sets that are needed uh, to conquer, to acquire these kind of positions if you are willing to. So moving further, we will talk about what is data, because the term is coming as database. So simply just look around wherever you are sitting, wherever you are consuming this content, you are viewing this course. So you might see that there are lot many things around, there are lot many objects that you see. You might find chair, table, you might find window, you might find fan, AC, mobile phones, laptops, curtains, and many more. So whatever you are able to see, these are basic objects, and each object is giving you some basic information about their own status. If I talk about where I am sitting, I am able to see tube lights, I am able to see LED bulbs, I am able to see fan, AC. So I'm just uh, I can just tell you like whether the LED bulb is open or not, what is the status of it. whether the fan is switched on or switched off, whether the AC is turned on, AC is on which mode, what is the temperature being maintained by the AC. All these basic details I can tell you. Why? Because it is giving me some information, right? So that is called as data. So in normal terms, in basic terminology, in a basic layman's term, if I have to tell, so data is uh, raw facts and figures, right? Raw facts and figures that you capture, that you understand uh, in your surroundings, or it could be from the Excel or from any kind of file format that you follow in your organization. So data is an information that is being given, that comprises of facts and figures. So once these facts and figures are processed, process means that you apply some methodology, you apply some method, you apply some function on the data, and at the end you get an output. Ki, yes, this is the output of the data that I was having, and based on that output you are able to maybe decide something, that is decision making, or something else, right? So you can predict, you can decide, you can do further analysis, you can give the same report to your seniors, and many more things. So once the raw facts and figures are processed, and that processed information is called as data. Now we are talking about what is a database. So database is simply, I would say, a software or a blueprint, right, that stores the data somewhere. You can simply say that it is a framework, it is a software that stores the data, and organizational data. Let us take an example. Once you are walking besides the road, you will find n number of businesses running. It could be a grocery shop, right? It could be a small bakery shop, it could be a clothing brand outlet. You will find n number of businesses along the roadside. So you will find that to run a business, you need data to be stored, the past historical data that is there from maybe past 2 years, 5 years, whatever the data that has been maintained. You need to store it somewhere so that it is beneficial for the organizational planning, that is for future, right? So it is very important to store the data. And now the era is of digitalization, right? Electronically everything is being stored, consumed, and generated as well, right? Everything is electronically generated nowadays. That's why we call it as uh, you know it is a very change in this era. So let us move further. So any business that is running, it requires uh, you know it requires a software or a platform wherein the data is being stored. It could be a big market, just like DMart could be there, right? Reliance Smart, and a similar kind of outlets, big outlets could be there. So they require a system wherein the data is being stored. Now, in a business, there are different departments. In a department also, there are hierarchies maintained for each of the employee, or for each of the manager. A specific role is being defined, right? And based on that, the data is generated. For a manager is generating different kind of data. For an HR, the data that is being generated is different. For a salesperson, the data that he or she is generating is different. Similarly, for marketing guy, the data is different. So at the end, what I mean to say is that this whole data that is all around, whether it is a customer's data, because in a business, it is not only business, it is customer as well, right? So customer base that is there, customer data is also there, organizational data is there, customer data is there, vendor data, and many other different types of data you will find. So all that data should be stored in such a in a single place, that I am able to take the decision properly. Key from the past 5 years, I am able to figure out that the sales is going down or sales is stagnant. We worked on the marketing side. We invested these many crores of rupees on the marketing and sales, but still it is stagnant. So I will find out the reason, because I am spending crores and crores of rupees on uh, generating the data, collecting the data as well, storing the data as well. Now, if I have stored that data, I will utilize it in analyzing and predicting something, so that it is benefited for the future planning, because I need to take data driven decisions for my business. So what is happening? Database is simply a systematic collection of data stored in an electronic form, that is called as a database. Right. Now we are talking about database management system. Now it is quite very simple to understand that a system means a process. A process is being followed to manage the database. And what do we mean by manage? Manage means you need to understand if this much amount of data is being generated, so how to store it in a proper manner so that it consumes less storage. It is very optimized in giving the output. It is very smooth in running all the processes that you need, and many more uh, pointers, right? So management is in this way. So database is a place where electronically, systematically, data is getting stored, and a system is a process that is being run for the same. So this is called as database management system, DBMS, right? So we will be talking about DBMS. So let us move further. As I said, you can just go through the first slide as well. Uh, the same thing I repeated earlier. Organized collection of data generally stored and accessed electronically from a computer system. Where databases are more complex, they are often developed using formal design and modeling techniques. So DBMS is a software for storing and retrieving the user's data while considering appropriate security measures. It consists of a group of programs which manipulate the database. Now, a point comes of security. Obviously, the data that you collect is very much important, and it is very much crucial. So security is one point of concern that should be there once you are storing the data. Similarly, n number of concerns and pointers are there, so that you need to work on that as well. So security is again a big concern, uh, and DBMS would help you in securing the data so that it doesn't get leaked out, right? So this is called as database DBMS that we just saw. I believe you understood what I just uh, uh, tried to explain you, right? In the next stage, we will be talking about, if database is clear, then we definitely understood what is RDBMS. But before understanding in a more detailed manner what is RDBMS, first we should know what are the types of databases, because uh, now I should make that statement that around 90 uh, percent or more than 90% of the data that is getting generated today is unstructured, right? Unstructured means wherein you don't have a proper structurized manner. If I say that it could be a tabular format wherein rows and columns are there. Based on rows and columns, the data is getting stored somewhere, and that is in a structured format, because that is a tabular structure comprising of rows and columns. So data nowadays is 90% and 90 plus percent of the data is unstructured, that has not a proper defined structure, and it is not possible as well. So we need to understand that what are the different types of databases. So on your screen you might find, you are able to see that there are 4 5 different types of databases been written. First one we already know, that is RDBMS, that is talking about tabular kind of data, collection of data in rows and columns format, that is a tabular data called as RDBMS. We already understood. Next is NoSQL database. We also call it as not only SQL, right? NoSQL database is called as not only SQL because it talks about unstructured data. Like in the description, you are able to see collection of key value pairs, columnar storage, right? So the data that is getting stored, it is column oriented. It is a collection of or a combination of key and value pairs that is getting stored. There you won't find a tabular kind of data wherein rows and columns are there, right? So NoSQL is uh, a kind of database that you are able to see. Next is graph database, collections using edges and nodes. Like you might find cities and roads. A city is connected to another city by a means of a channel, that is we can say a road, right? So collection of edges and nodes are there, that is called as graph database. Somewhere Google is also using it because the Google search engine is so huge. You find and search any uh, question that you have in your mind, you will get the answer because it has a graph database that looks like a spider's web, right? So that is called as a graph database. Next is special database. A special database is a database that is optimized for storing and querying data that presents objects defined in a geometric space. Right? Some special databases handle more complex structures such as 3D objects, topological coverages, linear networks, and tins. So in a simple manner, Google Maps is there. So special database uh, is, you know, Google Maps is an example for special database, right? Because it is talking about topological area, 3D objects, and many more, right? So these are four different databases. Again, I would say there are n number of databases that are present all over the data world, right? In the world of data, you will find n number of databases. So 4 5 different types are on your screen. I believe you understood it. Next we talk about, let's put more emphasis on RDBMS. Now, why? Because as a beginner, to start with the world of databases, MySQL, SQL, RDBMS that we just saw, RDBMS is a, you know, very easy database to explore and to start with as a beginner. Because in the name itself, it is talking about relational database management system. Till now, we just talked about RDBMS, that is database management system. But again, one more word is getting added, and that is relational database management system. Now, what are relations? Look around again. You have your mother, father, they have a relation. You have a relation with your mother, with your father, with your brother, with your sister, and many more, with your doctor, with your client, and so you play a different role everywhere because you have lot many relations with every individual that you see um, around you. That is called as relation, right? In the same manner, here also we have relations. Now, what kind of relations? As I told you, to run a business, you need a vast amount of data so that you can work on it. You can do the analysis, you can do the planning, and many more things. You can do the decision making. So you need vast of data. Now, to collect that data, you require a mechanism, and that is RDBMS, as I said earlier, a structure to hold the data. Now, that structure is in a manner so that it is creating a relation between the data itself. I will just give you a short example. If you purchase anything online from the e-commerce website, You are a user, right? So once you place the order, first you become a user, right? Suppose you are ordering something from Amazon or Zomato, or suppose Ola, right? So what you are doing is first you become a user by logging into that application, whether it is web application or application. First you log in, then you become a user. After becoming a user, you go to their services. Service could be anything like products, it could be service or something else, right? So then you place an order, as I was saying about e-commerce website. So you place an order. After placing an order, order ID is getting generated, right? Now what is order ID? Order ID is a unique parameter that will tell ki yes, this is the product or the item that is being purchased, this is the total quantity, this is the discounted rate, this is the applied GST, this is the address from uh, uh, at which we have to deliver the product, this is the date, many more things are there. Just with the use of unique ID of a user, the system would be able to track what was purchased, by when it should get delivered, from which warehouse it should go, what should be the discount, what should be the quantity, and many more things. Because user ID is unique, and that order is placed. After placing the order, you get the product on your doorstep. So in this case, user is I, and product is again a different entity that you want, so that you can make use of it. So if we look around how this kind of data would get stored, so it will be stored in a table format. Users table would be different, products table would be different. In products table, you will have n number of products listed, but as a user, you just want one product. So in users table and in products table, there there should be a link. Now how that link would be developed? That link would get developed only once you place an order, right? So you are already a user, and product is also already listed on the e-commerce site. Now what is one thing that is creating a relation between it? That is another table called as orders table, because you place an order as a user for the product that you want on your doorstep, right? So you place an order. Now that order ID is getting generated. Based on that order ID, the user ID is um, you know coming there, and product ID is coming there, and you have that order ID as well. Now combining all these things, it is very easy to understand who is the user, what is the product, what is the cost, what is the delivery date, what is the duration, and many more things. I hope you understood what is happening. A relation is getting developed, because without a relation, you won't it would be difficult. It would be difficult to store the data. Let me give you again a very short example, because you might ask, or you might be developing a curiosity that why three tables are involved, why not to create only single table? So there's a concept called normalization. We would be studying about it later on, that says that you should not have only single table in your database. That's why the topic or the title is given RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. The system is getting managed because there are relations in them. The way the data is getting stored in a table format, there are multiple tables. And to have that proper, maybe understanding or extracting the data in a proper manner, you must have a relation, so that uh, without relation, you won't get the expected output from the data. And that is why RDBMS is there, right? Relations are there. Now, let me tell you what is SQL. Just like I am making you understand something by a means of language, that is English. In the similar manner, DBMS, where S stands for system. To interact with the system as a human being, you require a language to write something so that the system is able to understand what you are saying. That is called as SQL, the medium, the language that is being used so that a user queries, a user is able to express what it exactly wants from the system. That is called as SQL. Now the full form is being written structured query language, a language that is very much structured, and you just have to query it. You just have to fire a query so that whatever is there in your mind, that gets reflected on your screen as well. And then you are able to take decision, you are able to do the analysis, you are able to do the stats and many more things. So SQL is just a medium that is making the system understand what you want exactly as an output. I hope you understood it, right? Got the point. So obviously, if language is involved, grammar would also be there, because there should be a mechanism that tells this statement is wrong, this is correct. Use this, you don't use this, right? There should be a mechanism, and that is called as schema, right? Schema or syntax, I would say. So this means the grammatical mistake or the proper use of grammar is supported with this SQL language, right? So I hope you understood what is SQL, what is schema, what is syntax. Syntax is a way to tell that this is the grammar, right? Okay, so let's move further. Now, because language is involved, you know now that language is not easy to understand, any language, but definitely if you understand it by taking interest, if you understand it by proper focus, this language is very much near to English. It is not like we are learning French, we are learning German, and maybe in 5 days you will be you should be writing it. No, this is English language that we are learning. SQL is very near to English. We're not learning something very much different, right? I hope that you understood that this is easy language. Now let us talk about how the bifurcation is being done in a language so that you can understand a proper the statement that is there, where to put it, or how to categorize this statement, right? Now let me tell you, in English grammar, there are adjectives, there are adverbs, there are punctuations, there are many more things, verb, pronoun, and many more elements are there, subject, object, and many more things. Similarly, in SQL language, you have different commands that are there. You have different types of commands that are there. So on your screen you are able to see, one is DDL, that is data definition language, one is DQL, data query language, one is DML, that is data manipulation language, one is DCL, data control language, and one is TCL, transaction control language. You are able to see it. Now let me explain you what all these things mean. DDML means, now you understood, right, that database is there. In a database we have multiple tables because relation needs to be developed, right? And because the output that you need is very complex, and to store that kind of data so that you get that kind of output, you need RDBMS as a structured way to store the data that has relations in between, right? And to store and to retrieve that data, or to write some query, write some operations on that data, you require different types of commands. So first command is DDL, data definition language. It talks on how the different objects that you create. What are objects? Objects are simple table, objects are columns, objects are databases, and likewise, right? So data definition language is at a level where you are making a change, or you are creating something new, or deleting the existing, Structure, not the data, right? Let me tell you again. In a human body, you have a structure. We call it as skeleton. Without skeleton, you can't stand, you can't sit, you can't swim, you can't run, and in fact, you can't fly, right? Perhaps with skeleton also you can't fly, right? So what I mean to say is that structure is the skeleton, and without a skeleton, you can't even properly sleep, right? You can't eat. So DDL is working on the structure. That means in a human body, it is on a level of skeleton. That means you are making some changes on your bones, suppose, right? You are doing some surgery kind of. So DDL is talking about that. Let me explain you with the data. Suppose you have customers table. You just started to record to have a record of your customers data. So you have a customer table. Now in your customer table you have 4 5 columns like customer ID, customer name, customer address, customer occupation, and customer feedback, and so now you uh, now you feel after feedback also what steps you took. Suppose you need to also write it there, or who would be addressing that feedback if that is in a negative manner. So you need to add one more column there in your table where the data is getting stored. You need to add one more column. So what is happening? You are making a change in the structure, not the data, right? First you make the change in the structure, then the data is getting stored. Getting it? So creating a new column in a table, deleting the existing column in a table, modifying a column, creating a new table, deleting the existing table, renaming a table, and renaming a database, deleting or creating a database. All these things come under DDL. I repeat, 5 major commands are there: create, then drop, then alter, truncate, and rename. 5 DDL commands are there, right? As I told you, because they work on the structural level. Okay. Next is DQL. DQL talks about data query language or data retrieval language, DRL. DQL or DRL. In this, only one command comes, and that is select. Select means in your uh, childhood you used to play outdoor games. In outdoor games, you used to divide it into two groups or two teams, right? You used to divide yourself into two teams. Getting it? Now the thing is that after dividing into two teams, after dividing into two teams, you while dividing into two teams, you require to select that I want this player, I want this player, I want this player, and so that is called as DQL. That means you are selecting. Now in the data, if I talk about in the database, you are simply you are simply wanting to retrieve by applying some filters. And filters are, suppose on Amazon you are just scrolling, just you are doing the window shopping, you're just exploring key what all new products are there. While exploring, you apply some filters, like you just want a band uh, uh, range of 1000 to 3000, and in that only you want the product, right? So that is called as applying a filter. That is called selecting that kind of data, because you applied a filter. It could be on a category, it could be on a numerical data, it could be anything from the data. You're just applying the filter. I'll give you one more example. OLX was an application, right? Is an application OLX. So you know OLX. OLX means suppose you want to buy some second hand, uh, you know, some second hand product, and you want that from your city itself, you want to buy it. So you will apply the filter by city. You will say from Pune, I want anyone who is having this setup, so I would buy it. From Pune, from the city where I am, I want this equipments. If you have, you tell me. I don't want someone outside Pune because it would be more costlier. So I applied a filter that is called selecting. So you just want that data that needs to get selected. So select is a statement that will help you to extract, to retrieve only that kind of data that you require by applying conditions and filters. I hope you understood it. DML talks about insert, update, and delete. Only three things are there: insert, update, and delete. Now, it is quite obvious that if we are talking about data and storing the data somewhere, so inserting means inserting a new record into the database or into a table that is there. Suppose I'm uh, I'm sitting on a counter and we have a grocery shop. A new customer comes in from the door. I would welcome, and after half an hour, if that customer is having 10 products that the customer needs, I'll just create a bill. I'll scan all the products by the QR code. I'll generate a bill, and I will ask for the phone number, because there are lot many business strategies to SMS, to give a monthly SMS that we have a 20% sale going on, so come to our visit our shop, and many more things, that you have a coupon because you shopped for 5,000 rupees, above 5,000 rupees, so you got 50 points, and 1 point is equivalent to 10 rupees, and so what is happening, there is a strategy. So how that is possible? Because you are inserting the new records of your customer, because that customer is a new customer. So you will get all the details, that, sir, please tell your contact number. Sir, what is your name? What is your occupation? How frequently you visit our store? From where did you got to know about our store? And many more things. And you will tell, is it okay to provide to share an SMS to you? If yes, then we would be sharing it monthly. And so what is happening? Inserting a new record. The moment from the reception or from the counter I entered the customer's detail, that got inserted into the database of the customer's table, and now we have a new customer record inserted. That is inserting. Updating means, suppose you want to change some data on your Aadhaar card. Again, Aadhaar card is a huge data that is being maintained by the government. So you want to update. Suppose you want to update your address. That can happen. That is again coming under DML, data manipulation. So as I said, inserting a new record in your data, updating the existing record in your table or data, and deleting. Deleting means, suppose you have a social media handle, and now you don't want to use it anymore, so you will delete it, right? You will maybe uninstall it, you will delete somehow, and that is called as DML. So insert, update, and delete, these all would be coming under DML. DCL is talking about how to control the data that you have, data control language. And I'll just give you a very basic example of WhatsApp or Instagram or any other platform that you are using. So if I talk about WhatsApp, you all must be putting status. While putting status, you have an option like to whom with you want to share your status, and who should not be able to see the status, whom to hide it with, and whom to share it with. So that is called as controlling your data, because if you don't want your best friends to see or to get update key, I went for an outing, so you can hide them. That is controlling, because you revoked the access. So there are two things. One is granting and one is revoking. Grant means giving the access and revoke means taking back. Just like in Google Drive it is, or in WhatsApp as I told. So DCL is talking about grant and revoking it back. That is called as DCL. Let's talk about TCL. TCL is talking about transaction control language. Now, let me tell you in normal terms, you know what is a transaction, right? So transaction means where involvement of monetary terms is there. It is just like that if you pay 500 rupees to your friend, in a fraction of seconds your friend receives 500 rupees, because that is a transaction. If you book a ticket, if you book a railway ticket, in a fraction of seconds it gets confirmed, because that is a transaction. Within a blink of an eye, what happens is you just make the payment and that seat is on your name. That is called as transaction. With with effect it happens. So how to control that? Let us talk about. So we have three things again. We have commit, we have save point, and we have rollback. Commit means that while dealing with DML commands, data manipulation language, you commit. Suppose if you are inserting new record, you will commit कि this is my responsibility. Taking a responsibility, I am committing that I am inserting new record. Taking a responsibility of deleting some records or updating some records, DML commands, insert, update, and delete. So by using of DML commands, I will be using commit, because in many of the databases, auto commit is not there. Or you can go to the settings and you can click on auto commit. Auto commit means no need of using that commit keyword every time while you insert, update, or delete, right? So that is called as transaction control language, wherein you are controlling the transaction by committing it. I am committing that I inserted, deleted, or updated a record. Got the point? Next is save point. Save point means that as a database administrator, you made some changes in your database and you saved it. So from the next day, from the same point, you can again begin your work. That is called as saving your data or saving your progress. And from that, you can again resume. And there could be multiple save points, just like version control is there, right? So in the same manner, save point is there. Every time you feel key, I should save it, so you can save it. So that details will get there. That is called as save point. Next is rollback. Now, once you save something and you find that I made a mistake, so I should roll back. That is called as coming back to the previous state and then making again the changes. That is called as rollback. So again, I'll repeat. In TCL, we have commit that is used with DML commands. We have save point and we have rollback. So this is how I made you understand that what are the different commands that are being used in SQL as a language. Now moving further, I already explained you all these, right? I'll just showcase you how to install MySQL. Now a new terminology is popping up, right? That is called as MySQL. Now let me tell you what is a MySQL. MySQL is a software from a company that is Oracle, right? Now you definitely know that database is a domain. Database is a way to store the data, or it is a technological name, a technological stack name, that is database. Now in the database domain, there could be multiple you know, companies that are working on creating a database. So one such company is Oracle. So Oracle is having MySQL as a product, as a software that you can use it to create a database and to store the data and to retrieve and to manipulate and to make changes in it and take decisions. So what is happening? MySQL is a software. Just like if I talk about chocolate, so for chocolate you have Cadbury, Nestle, and many more brands. In the same manner, for database, you have Oracle, you have Teradata, you have IBM, and many more companies that gives you database as a service, right? So MySQL is a name of the software. I can tell you now that what is the difference between SQL and MySQL. SQL is the language and MySQL is the software that you will be using. You will be applying that language in MySQL, right? So MySQL is the software wherein you will be using SQL language to communicate with the DBMS that you have, the system that you have. So let us talk about how to do, how to install that, right? Now, because I have it already in my PC, so what I'll do is you can simply go to the control panel, right? In control panel, you will find programs and features. You can simply click on control panel, right? In control panel, as I told you, you have this option, programs and features, as I told you, right? So in this programs and features, you will find MySQL. If you already have it, I am just telling you how to uninstall it. So you can simply right click and you can click on uninstall, right? And you can click, you can uninstall it. Now, let me tell you, if I suppose if I have to do not show me this dialog box. Are you sure you want to uninstall? Yes. So I'm just uninstalling MySQL. It is getting uninstalled. It will take some time. I believe you understood all the concepts till now that I explained. And now I will tell you that how to install MySQL as a software that I just introduced you. Yes, I want to make the changes and about to complete uninstallation of MySQL. And once it is done, we will be exploring Oracle website and we'll be going and we will be downloading it. Let's just wait for some time. It is gathering the required information that you can see. Right? So meanwhile, you can simply click on MySQL download, click on here, and once it gets opened up, you will find MySQL community GPL downloads. So go to MySQL community GPL downloads and you are able to see MySQL installer for Windows, right? You can click it here. Once you click it, you will find the next option, that is this. If you want 32-bit, that is also fine. So Microsoft Windows is there. And if you want some other operating system, you can select it from here and simply you can download it. Now, again, if you click on download, it will give you an option that is no thanks, just start my download. And this is from where you can simply download MySQL on your device. That will help you to create a database and to explore what is RDBMS and how to make use of SQL language in it. If once you click on it, it will start downloading. And after downloading, you will find the exe file, right? And once that is there, let me make the necessary steps so that it is completed with the uninstallation part. Okay, so I believe that is done, right? So now, because I have it already, the installer that as I told you, you will be having this community MSI file with you. You just open it up. Once you open it up, you will find it like this. Acha, wait, not workbench. Just a second. I don't want workbench. MySQL installer community, right? Once you click it, this window will get popped up on your device, right? So you can click on add. This is where you already have a MySQL server, right, with you. So you just need to click on green button. Once you click on green button, you click on next. It says the selected path already exists. Suppose if I click on, you still have warnings with your selected path. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. I clicked on continue, execute it. It is downloading. Now this is the installation part for the ones who already have it. Maybe it might have a problem that because you already have it, but still it is not working properly. So you might do this step. And for those who are exploring it for the first time, simply you just open the MySQL installer MSI file, click on yes, you want to make the changes in your system. After that, you just need to click on next, 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 right? Just like I'm doing it here, you just have to click on next. Once you click on next, you will find that it got installed. uh, you need to set a password, right? I would suggest that you keep the password very simple, because many a times if there is a a slight gap in between to continue exploring the SQL, so many a times you don't recall it. So always to use a very basic password to log in with, right? uh, I should be having this as the password. Okay, again, if it is wrong, so maybe I need to check that what is exactly. This should get approved, but it is not getting. So anyways, after writing your password, you can click on next, 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 and this is how you will get installed. And once you install, okay, I need to check why this is happening, because I'm not able to recover my password. Once you are done with it, you can simply open MySQL again from your Windows button by pressing Windows button, and you need to open this. That is MySQL, the version name. For me, it is 8, command line client. And you just click on it. After clicking, because I already uninstalled it, so it is not opening it up. At the end, you will find that a black screen pops up and it asks for writing the password. So just write the password and press enter. You will get access to MySQL. And once you got the access, now the next step is to explore it. Now in the next session, I'll tell you about what to do in the next step. Once you are clear with all the basics about what is data, what is databases, what is DBMS, types of databases, what is RDBMS, what is SQL, what is MySQL, and at last, what is schema, syntax, and similar kind of terminologies that we explored so far. So I believe that you were able to understand all the concepts that I tried to explain you. And I believe that you would be having a recall, or you must have made a note on it if you are very new to this. So in the same with the same pace, we would be moving to the next we'll be moving to the next session, and I hope that everything was clear. If you find anything difficult, if you find any questions, you can put it on the chat box, and I will definitely make a note of it. I'll clarify a doubt, and we'll meet in the next session. So we'll meet, and till then, keep practicing, keep growing. Yes, thank you.